Hello, guys and gals, me, Mutahar, and this needs to stop. Yes, it does, ladies and gentlemen. What needs to stop? Live service gaming, okay? Now, to start off with, some of my gaming-oriented content recently has been about emulation, has been about, like, preserving old video games. And that's literally because most of my gaming lately is playing older games. Now, I both love it because a bit of nostalgia comes in. A lot of older games, I think, are just built better. You know, instead of spending 80 hours in an open world, I'm spending like 15, 20 hours in a good quality game and calling it a day, okay? I would much rather play 15 playthrough of Assassin's Creed 2 than play one playthrough of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, okay? Simply how it is. Now, when it comes to most newer games, even the games that I'm excited for, like Resident Evil 4 is a remake of a game I played over a decade ago. And that's not to say new games aren't good. There's a lot of new stuff that has come out. Yakuza Ishin is really awesome. Okay, absolutely loving that game. Still, it's a PS3 game from back in the day, remade as a PS5 release. Insanity. And of course, there's other amazing games out there too. Octopath Traveler 2 just came out. Seems like it's a fun time. Hogwarts Legacy, I played through half of it, stopped the game a little bit, wasn't really grabbing me. You know, I feel like a lot of these open world games are getting goddamn too long-winded. All right, like, Jesus Christ, give me a storyline. I don't need 400 points on the map when only 50 of them have any effort put into them. Anyways, so Rocksteady, amazing developer. You know, if it's one series of games that I think are just absolutely perfect all the way through, the Arkham series. Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight, okay? Absolutely perfect games. Literally games without any flaws, in my opinion, okay? You could play them every year and just love them. Aged like fine wine. So recently, Rocksteady wants to make Suicide Squad, okay? The new game, the new release by this company. And unfortunately, it's a live service piece of crap. And I say live service piece of crap because that's literally just what it is. It's an open world, 4-player, I guess intended to be 4-player, looter shooter, supervillain game, okay? That's all it comes down to. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go over a few things that I absolutely despise. So they released a video in the State of Play yesterday, and we're going to watch a bit of it, okay? We're going to watch just a tiny amount of it where they talk about how this game is brand new, how this game is revolutionary. In fact, even from their FAQ, they said, what type of game is Suicide Squad? It is a new genre-defining third-person action-adventure shooter video game, allowing players to take on the roles. Okay, now I'm going to show you the gameplay real quick, and we're gonna try to find out what's so genre-defining about this. Oh, man! Third-person open-world shooter? Whoa, you can jump in the air? Wow, Poggy Woggy! Oh no, different characters? Skills? Wow! Hold on a minute, I'm gonna pause it right here, okay? Sarcasm aside, your genre-defining happened back in Borderlands, back when Destiny came out, all right? How is this new? How is this any different than the 4-player co-op looter shooters we've been playing since the 360 era, okay? So again, this FAQ even wilds me out too. For instance, we're gonna get into something here real quick. Can you play this game solo? Well, you can play the entire game solo, or some of the events, not the entire game, that would be a lie. There's obviously going to be raids and shit, with 4 players and online co-op. Okay, so they've just straight up said the game can be played by yourself, all right? Okay, cool, awesome. Can you play local split screen? Nope, only available through internet connection. So, by the way, some of the most powerful console in the world, Xbox Series X, can't even do open world tethered co-op between friends. Not the console's fault, just the developers basically forcing everybody to buy their own copy of the game so they can play together. You know, the problem with some of these co-op looter shooters is trying to find people. You know, it's kind of a hard sell to tell your homies to pick up an $80 game that you may or may not totally get into just to play together, okay? Maybe if you price these things a little bit lower, reflecting the unfinished nature of them half the time, maybe it would be more fucking palatable. Then, of course, you get into what I think is the dumbest shit imaginable, okay? Is an internet connection required to play? Yes, an internet connection is required to play Suicide... Yes, ladies and gentlemen, an internet connection is required to play a solo game. Now, I have genuinely had my problems with this for the last few years. Now I know there's going to be the one window licker, okay, in the comment section going, "But Muda, don't you have an internet connection?" Of course I do. How do you think I made the video and uploaded it, jackass? Of course I do. Everyone does. Your granny's pacemaker is probably connected to the internet. That's not the point, okay? The point of this entire angry outburst is this game is online only without the need for it to be online only. Look, you know, games like World of Warcraft where hundreds of players are connected together, yeah, that makes sense. Whole framework for the game is tied in a massively multiplayer online community. But, buddy, friend, if a game that you can play by yourself and with 3 other people requires you to be connected online, why? What is it? Some enhanced form of shitty DRM? Why do you need to have an online-only connection? Doesn't make any sense when you can go back in the 360 era and play games offline like Borderlands by yourself. Is it because they don't want you duping items? Is it because they want you completely connected online so they can keep shoveling you with microtransaction prompts? I don't know. Maybe that's the case. Because let me tell you right now, it ain't good for the game preservation, and it ain't good for just the average player, okay? Sometimes internet connections go out, okay? Sometimes the real world kicks in. Sometimes you just want that disc copy of a game to work no matter what. And when a game is connected online only, it becomes as useless to me as Avengers or Ghost Recon Breakpoint, okay? 2 games that I was kind of excited for because I'm a Ghost Recon fan, and hell yeah, I'll play a Marvel game. Shit, why not? Soy cuckold for life, right? Nope, gone completely. Because guess what? There are games that are live service pieces of crap that I have no interest in jumping into. Now, one of the other things that really flares my anger is just this. Like, listen to this real quick, okay? I'm not even memeing around. Just listen to what's going to be mentioned.
Each character has a power level in the game that we call gear score. As you acquire new gear in the game, your gear score goes up. And as that number goes up, it means that you can take on much harder missions.
Each character has a gear score in it. Okay, this frame right here triggers so much anger in me because I have become like accustomed, like there's a Pavlovian response to me that hates just the purple, the yellows, whatever. Because I've seen so, first off, this whole UI wilds me out, okay? Look at this UI for a second. Like this, first off, gaming has never changed from like Destiny to now. We've already, like, look at that. You've got the squad, you've got the map, the contracts, the looks, talent, social, the battle pass, no questions asked there. And of course, what's interesting is, of course, this game is all tied down to just finding better loot, finding the gear. So first off, you don't want to get the crappy commons, uncommons. You want the rares, the legendaries, the exotics, okay, the purples, the blues, the yellows. All right, that's what you're looking for. And of course, all it comes down to is building your character with the highest possible like number stat over here, because it really just shows you that the game is not about difficulty. It's not about that. Because the difficulty is not that the AI is better, that, you know, on a harder difficulty they use different moves. No, as long as your gear score is high enough, literally the difficulty boils down to dealing enough damage and tanking enough damage. That's all it is, all right? This is not some new innovative concept. This is not an ability for you to open up the rest of the game. You have literally taken the literal ass end of mobile gaming and have brought it to full $70 releases on the PC, on the consoles. And then beyond all of it, you've got the audacity to fill the game up with battle passes and a store. Again, a single player, a co-op storyline looter shooter game has literally been turned into live service hell because what these companies want you to do is have some access to, effectively the whole idea is about building a game that attracts just the most minute amount of whales into it, so they can just feed these microtransactions so hard that eventually, at least in theory, this should pay for itself. Now look, live service is not the worst in my opinion. There's a lot of live service games that handle themselves pretty well. Look, Siege is live service. I think it's a good game. I would argue GTA Online is a live service game, all right? You got a great single player to drag you in, and the online is an ever-expanding pool of fun. I'm not saying live service can't be done properly. It obviously has. But this is not a game that is built on a good framework anyways. It's not a game that's sucking people in. It's your generic open world third-person looter shooter with some online-only shit attached to it. And the reality of all of this is it's going to be like Anthem, it's going to be like Avengers, it's going to be like any of these generic games that comes out and a year later, the development team is writing up an apology, posting it online saying, "We're sorry. We didn't expect the game to die out." Really? When you release it like this and insult the player base, you think anybody's genuinely excited for this dog shit? Because let me tell you right now, all right, this isn't just anger brewing up for the sake of anger. This is one more game that I was genuinely actually hyped for. Because who wouldn't want to play a Rocksteady game, right? Who wouldn't want to play a Rocksteady game that's a newer IP? All hype, all care dies out when you've got a game development team, when you've got when you got WB, who literally just released Hogwarts Legacy, a purely single-player game without any microtransactions as far as I've seen, selling millions of copies, and then by the same breath, the same year, they're out there releasing this dog shit. They're out there thinking people are hyped to play some online-only looter shooter. And maybe there are genuine people that are hyped for it, but ladies and gentlemen, why are we getting hyped for this generic co-op concept? It just baffles me, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all I really wanted to say about it. I think this needs to just totally stop. I thought we were starting to get past this era of gaming, this cancerous era, with like releases like Elden Ring, Hogwarts Legacy, these games that have proven single-player gaming, all right, is still alive and healthy. And if you want to do cooperative, you can. But tying it to some crazy online service where the end goal is literally just to drip feed content and microtransaction purchases for a few whales is not the play you want to do. Because at the end of the day, they're just going to say nobody's interested in this type of game, which is not true. Nobody's interested in the monetization structure that this game is tied to. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I really wanted to say. It needs to stop. This is a cancerous world of gaming we live in. I'm out.